This is Off the Cuff, and I'll be your host for this show and for other shows. Hopefully, maybe we can do this once in a while. So on this show, I'll voice my opinion. We'll talk about some ghosts, some mythical creatures, cryptozoology. We'll talk about a little bit about everything. A little bit about everything. That's okay. I mean, there's nothing sacrosanct here. We'll talk about everything. But of course, I'm going to talk about one thing tonight, just for a few minutes, and that is the difference between a skeptic and an atheist. The difference between a skeptic and an atheist. Because it really irks me that people run around and claim that they're a skeptic, but they're really not. They're actually an atheist, and they don't want to admit it. So we'll go through certain definitions tonight and certain things that I've come across because I want to get this kind of out on the table. Now, everyone has the freedom of choice. I live in a free country, and everyone has the right to decide and choose whatever they would like. That's the way the country rolls. That's the way I roll. That's fine with me. But don't say you're one thing and then you end up actually being the other. Okay? So we're going to go through the definitions here, and we're going to go through what really irks me about this whole situation. Okay? So tonight, okay, I'm a believer in a lot of things. I'm a scientist. I believe in a lot of things. And there are skeptics out there that question my information, my facts, my knowledge, where I go, what I do, things like that. Okay, that's fine. I understand that. And then there are atheists out there that don't believe in anything. Anything. Daryl Sims, the alien hunter, was at a conference, and he had a lady stand up in the back and say, Daryl, what's your credentials to hunt aliens? And Daryl gave her his credentials, which are basically military and CIA. And the other side of the coin was she stood in the back with her arms folded and said, well, I don't believe it. I don't believe you've had all these experiences. I don't believe you have all this stuff in your glass cabinets that actually say that these are alien trackers, alien things. And she just sat back and just didn't believe it. And then she said later that she was just skeptical of anyone who was there. I don't know why she was there, because Daryl had the proof, he had the photos, he had the physical objects, he had every step of the chain of evidence that you can possibly do. Okay, and she still did not believe it. Well, that is an atheist. An atheist is too lazy, too dumb, too stupid to go out and do their own research. And when you bring in the gold brick of your knowledge and your research, and they still don't believe it, then they're atheists. They're lazy. They don't have to do any work. They can just sit back and deny it. They can deny it. A skeptic, by definition, is someone who has an opinion, but with new facts and information is swayed by the new facts, and then you turn it around and he changes his ideas or his opinion on that topic. Okay, so a skeptic will say, well, I really don't believe in Bigfoot. I'm not really going to go look for Bigfoot, but I don't really believe in Bigfoot until you bring in a body and then you set it in front of him, and then the skeptic will go, okay, I believe in Bigfoot now. But you can't bring in a body and say, this is a Bigfoot body, DNA and everything, ask Melba Ketchum. And then the skeptic sits there and says, still, I don't believe it. Even after the DNA research has been done, after the body has been examined and autopsied, and after it has been put on ice, the skeptic, if he claims he's a skeptic, will sit there and say, I still don't believe it. Well, then that's an atheist. Not a skeptic. Not a skeptic. Okay, if I come in with a mound of evidence, if I come in with a mound of evidence saying a topic, Okay, cryptozoology, ghost investigations, whatever you think. Okay, if you come in with this mound of evidence, and the skeptic comes in with his evidence, which is probably pretty thin, then you compare them, and then he goes over your evidence, and logically through deduction should say, okay, all the points are in alignment, and I believe you. Okay, I'm on the fence, but I believe you because your evidence is better than whatever evidence I've got at the time. So you can have 22nd century evidence, and you can have squat from the 1950s. Okay, so if you still believe in the Condon report in ufology, then and you say, well, Dr. Condon put this report out, but I still believe in it. Well, that was a million years ago. Okay, it was in the dinosaur age. Condon was an idiot. He was paid by the government to do nothing. Because why? He was an atheist. He did not believe in UFOs, and he was not going to investigate UFOs. He was going to write a collegiate paper based upon his opinion, not his research, of UFOs. So we still have people running back to Carl Sagan and Condon, the Condon report about UFOs and UAPs and all this other stuff. It's like, well, if you make incredible claims, you have to have incredible evidence. Well, yeah, if you get off your ass and read it, okay, but you don't sit there and say, I want to believe. Well, it's your choice if you want to. I believe because the facts are here. The evidence is clear. The dots connect. By our level of physics, this is the way it works. You don't have to believe in oxygen. You don't have to believe in gravity. That's fine. That's your choice. But I can tell you by the amount of evidence that I've got, gravity exists and oxygen is real. It exists. It exists. It exists. It exists. But you don't have to believe that. That's fine. But I don't believe in stop signs. So I don't have to stop my car for anything. And all of a sudden the officer and the people that I've killed with my car, well, I just don't believe in stop signs. I'm not going to stop. Why is that? Is that a law? Like the law of gravity? Well, I don't believe in that either. Well, that's an atheist. Not a skeptic. A skeptic would look at the stop sign and say, yes, it's for my own safety. I should stop. The evidence is clear. Okay, so you're on the side of the fence of using a stop sign or not using a stop sign. Okay, the believer says, yes, it's for not only my best interest, it's for the interest of everybody else around me. So I'm going to stop my car. Okay? It may be the biggest decision you made that day and whether to stop the car or not, but you got to stop that car. It makes all the sense in the world. Okay, so there are three types of people technically on the planet. The researchers who are the believers, and they go out every day and they research and then they get the evidence, and then whether or not they believe it or not, that is their evidence. They have to trust their equipment, their detectors, their sensors, their recorders. They have to record their evidence. They have to go over it with a fine-tooth comb, and then they can present it. It's like in the Bigfoot cases. You have hair, you have footprints, you have blood, you have bones, you have a whole skeleton. Okay? But then the skeptics sit back and say, well, I'm not done yet. I'm still on the fence because, well, I'm skeptical. I'm very skeptical. Well, no, you're not skeptical at all. You're an atheist. You're an atheist. You don't believe in Bigfoot. You never did. You never will. Your mama didn't bring you up right. You didn't get enough hugs as a child. And so you look at someone else's 30 years of research on Bigfoot and you still are skeptical. No, you're an atheist. So Michael Schumer was at Cambridge University and gave a lecture and said, if you don't believe in the old Anunnaki, the Enlil and Enki and Gilgamesh and Marduk or whatever, he says, then you're an atheist against that religion. No, I'm not an atheist against that religion. That is not a religion. Those are not gods. They are extraterrestrials that came to the planet and created mankind and then abused the hell out of us. So I'm not an atheist. I believe they exist, but they weren't gods. I'm not going to sit down and bow down and worship them. My God, you think I'm an idiot? No, they're just somebody who has higher tech. So if a skeptic like Michael Shermer is calling me an atheist because I don't believe in him, he's wrong. I believe in him. Zachariah Stitchin virtually proved it. NASA virtually proved it. That the other 12 planets still exist, and that is where the Anunnaki reign. Nonetheless, they're on other planets right now and doing the same thing, looking for resources as all other extraterrestrial civilizations are. Antarctica, they found a whole base in Antarctica, and Linda Moulton Howe claims outright that it's from the Anunnaki. Okay, Linda, I trust you. The people that told you, you trust them, that's a chain of evidence that makes a lot of sense. I believe it. Other races went to Antarctica, built bases, and then there was a pole shift, and then they got buried in snow, so they just took a hiatus. Found a warmer climate. You know what I'm saying? I go to Florida. Shit, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna sit there in the snow, probe humans and dig for gold when I can do it someplace else, like warmer climate. So anyway, getting back to this, the controversy between skeptic and atheist is you need to know who you're talking to. So the skeptic says, I've got information. It may be old, it may be dusty, but I confirm this information and it's okay. This is new information I haven't been exposed to yet. So let me read it and see if it connects the dots. And guess what? If it does, I trust you, I believe it. And then I won't be a skeptical anymore, I'll be a believer, okay? But the atheist doesn't have to do jack. They're the laziest people on the planet. They can sit back and deny anything. It reminds me of World War II. I was just following orders, mein Herren. I was just following orders. They don't have to believe in jack. They just do whatever they do. The atheist is corrupting the skeptics because the skeptics think that they're logical and they can deduce things and they can make sense out of something. An atheist doesn't have to do anything. They don't have to put anything on the table. No proof, no evidence, not even a belief system, not even a religion, even though atheism is a religion. Just like everything else. Capitalism is a religion. Communism is a religion. It goes down the road. Okay, I'm not going to go there. But the point is that what irks me is that someone will go out and go to graveyards and go on ghost investigations and come back with evidence the same as Bigfoot evidence, and they will get video, they'll get footprints, they'll get hair follicles, they'll get blood. The same thing with ghosts. You get video, you get voices, you get sounds and everything else, and you present it. You put it all together, you present it. That's what any researcher will do. Whether we're talking medical, geological, physics, whatever. That's what you do. You put the research together. Okay, so there's a nice little German girl who gives, she's a theoretical physicist, and she gives science news. You may have seen her. Okay, she did a whole thing about whether hydrogen was going to be the next fuel, whether it was going to save the planet. And her diatribe was, well, it should, but I know as well as she knows that there's not enough electricity on the planet to create hydrogen and then liquefy it and then put it into your tank so you'll run your car. Everybody knows that. Bob Lazar knows that. Elon Musk knows that. Everybody knows that. So the deal is not to create liquid hydrogen and keep it on ice and then force feed it into your car so your car can run on hydrogen. No, it's to create the hydrogen inside the car as it's running. So you just pour in water and baking soda or nitric acid. Pick your poison. And then that's how it runs. So you're driving down the road and you're running on water. It's hydrogen. That's it. That's it. We're going back to the moon pretty soon, and it's all like liquid oxygen and stuff like that for fuel. Well, of course, how do you think we got it? We processed it. We put it together. We liquefied it. We shoved it into the back of a rocket, and then we lit the candle to light it off. Okay, so that works, sure, okay, but it won't work for 1 trillion cars. Gasoline should never have been invented. It should never have been used. Oil, on the other hand, is a great lubricant, synthetics, and it's made in plastics and rubbers and everything else all around for seals and gaskets and you name it. That's great. I applaud that. Tires, hoses in your engine. But for fuel, it was stupid. You can't get any more out of it. It's a dead horse. When you put gas in your car, it says right there, 86, 89, 97. Okay. My God, white lightning is 100 proof, 120 in some cases. I'd rather go down to Arkansas, get me about 100 gallons of white lightning. I'll go twice as far, twice as fast, and it comes from corn. So, let's say we're not going to do that. Okay, so why don't we just go down and to the patent office and look up hydrogen engines, which a guy invented, and he got 97 miles per gallon of water. He's got 6 other patents in 6 other countries except for America. So we can't drive down to the patent office and get this hydrogen design because they wouldn't allow him to patent it. He drove from Los Angeles to New York in a hydrogen-fueled car, and he just put in water. Now, you can be as skeptical as you want. Go on YouTube, check it out. The guy's real. He's authentic. And they poisoned him, and they killed him. Okay, so now if I was an atheist, I'd say, no, I don't believe that. Gasoline is the only thing I believe in because why, that's what makes the world go round. Really? Really? You don't have to, if an atheist, you can say, okay, we've got penicillin. We've got augmented. Okay, we got penicillin, we got augmentin. Well, I don't believe in any of that. Well, you don't have to, atheist. But don't go running around calling yourself a skeptic to make you look good, because you're not sexy and you don't look good, okay? Because you don't have any research. No research. Mounds of it. Tons of it. So a high school kid goes to his teacher for his science fair project. Now, if you were back in school, you actually did a science project for the science fair, right? So this one kid goes, okay, I'm kind of skeptical on this. We'll take oil of oregano and some leftover antibiotics, and I'll take them to my chemistry teacher and say, can you put this into a petri dish and with some mold or bacteria or whatever? I forgot exactly what the bacteria was. And so the chemistry teacher said, yeah, sure. This antibiotic should wipe it out immediately. That was their first impression. Okay, this antibiotic and that antibiotic should wipe out this completely, right? Well, it didn't. It didn't. That was prime pharmaceutical grade antibiotic, okay? But the oil of oregano put in the same bacteria in the same petri dish killed everything the first time. Now the chemistry teacher sit back and goes, well, this is impossible. So let's do it a couple more times. They did it 3 times. 3 times. And the situation was exactly the same. Oil of oregano killed all the bacteria. And the chemistry teacher was shocked. Why isn't Big Pharma passing this out like candy to kill bacterial agents in the body? Well, Big Pharma can't patent something that's natural, but they can now because Monsanto can patent all of our food and then force us to pay them a stipend for whatever you buy. If you buy seeds, flower seeds, corn seeds, cucumber seeds, you have to pay them about 2% or 3% of the going price just for those seeds. Because why? They've patented it. Now, if you don't believe that, guess again. Go to your general federal judge and take it up with them, because they're the ones that screwed that up. But anyway, getting back. So I'm a believer. I work hard. I present evidence. I go out into the field. I get the evidence. I sit down and I go over it with a fine-tooth comb, and I present it. So no matter how unbelievable or improbable you think this evidence is, it's still evidence. And you don't have the right to throw it out. Because if you're a skeptic, you'll say, oh, okay, very good. I like it. Okay, I believe this. We'll run with this. I'll be on your side of the fence with this topic. Okay, the atheist won't believe it at all. They don't care. They don't care. So don't waste your time with someone who says that they're skeptic and you give them their information, give them all of your information, and then they sit back and say, oh, no, this is it. We're just going to make fun of you because you're a great researcher and you have all the facts, but because of our disbelief, we can't jump on your side of the fence because that would make us a believer and not a skeptic or an atheist. Okay. So there was a writer for Skeptic Magazine, and he went out on a Bigfoot hunt, and he stayed in the tent during the hunt. Everyone else that was there, the 25 or 30 people that were there, went out aggressively looking for Bigfoot. Trails, hair, footprints, blood, whatever they could find. Okay, and they turned right around, and they went back to camp, and that writer for Skeptic Magazine was there. He never went with them. He said the odds of staying in the tent are equal to the same odds of you going out and looking for Bigfoot, because Bigfoot doesn't exist. Well, then he's not a skeptic for Skeptic Magazine. He's an atheist for sit on my ass in my lazy boy and do nothing. Nothing. Okay, so the next time you're out there and someone walks up to you and you're a paranormal researcher and someone walks up to you and they say, show me your evidence. Don't tell them a story, just plop it on the table. Okay, this is it. This is my evidence. This is all copyrighted. It's all legal, stamped by a notary. Okay, this is my evidence. Top secret. And then just say, okay, it's all up to you now. You have to believe in this, okay? Because you can't be an atheist anymore, okay? Because this is 22nd century information in the 21st century, but it's 22nd century information that you are still working with Carl Sagan and Mr. Condon from the Condon Report saying that stuff does not exist when it actually does. And as soon as they realize that you're not delusional because of your evidence of the equipment that you have, and you're not delusional and you have facts and evidence, they have to, if they don't commit to say that it's right, then they're an atheist. Don't even trust them. Don't even talk to them. Because they'll not believe in anything. Mark Twain said, no matter how much evidence you give to a skeptic or an atheist, he'll never believe it. And that is exactly true, because they practiced atheism. And they don't get off their asses and go out there and do the real work. This has been Off the Cuff. Thank you for watching. This has been Dr. Lynch. My next show will be Hacks and Geniuses. Stay tuned for that. Come and see me. Take care. And this has been Off the Cuff with your host, Dr. Lynch. Have a great tomorrow.